Hello everyone, welcome to the Smart Market Insights here on Kalkine TV. Sage here, and today we'll be shining some light on ABS report stating that dwelling approvals drop in January while the trade surplus improves. On the 3rd of March, the Australian Bureau of Statistics, or the ABS, released dwelling approvals and international trade data for January 2022. And while the trade surplus improved in January, dwelling approvals took a sharp downturn during the month. And according to the ABS, the number of total dwellings approved fell 27.9% in January, with private sector dwellings, excluding houses, observing a significant drop of 43.6%. The steep downward turn in dwelling approvals came after a 9.8% rise in December, while non-residential buildings led to this decline. The approvals for the private sector houses also plummeted sharply by 17.5% over the month. In December 2021, private sector houses demonstrated a slight decrease of 0.3%. However, the January result brings the series closer to its historic levels, with the January outcome 0.8% higher than the pre-pandemic level in January of 2020. Most Australian states resonated with the national trend as they recorded a drop in total dwelling approvals during January 2022, and dwelling approvals fell 35.5% across Victoria, 29.2% in South Australia, 25.9% in New South Wales, and 19.9% in Western Australia, and 13.9% in Tasmania. Queensland was the only region where dwelling approvals rose 0.5%. And for the private sector houses, approvals fell across all mainland states, with approvals in South Australia dropping by 19.9%, Victoria by 18.6% and Western Australia by 16.5%, Queensland by 15.7% and New South Wales by 14%. In January, the value of total buildings approved fell 27.7%, with non-residential building approvals leading to this decline. The value of non-residential buildings approved declined 36.8% during the month. This highlights the gradual yet slow return to the lower price levels across non-residential real estate. The value of dwelling approvals fell 22.8% for residential buildings, which included a 24.9% drop in the value of new residential housing. Also, the value of alterations and additions dropped by 10.3% in January. Let's now look at what international trade data say. Along with the dwelling approvals data, the ABS also released the balance on goods and services surplus for January 2022, which increased by 4.06 billion Australian dollars to 12.89 billion Australian dollars. The rise in surplus stemmed from rising exports alongside slowly decreasing imports. In January, the value of exports rose by 3.48 billion Australian dollars, primarily due to rising exports of metal ores and minerals. And meanwhile, the value of imports fell 581 million Australian dollars, majorly affected by a decline in telecommunications equipment and capital goods. And this marked an 8% rise in the value of exports alongside a 2% fall in the value of imports. Exports of goods were 9% higher in January 2022 compared to December 2021 on a seasonally adjusted basis. However, there was not much change in the services exports, which fell only marginally from 4.86 billion Australian dollars in December 2021 to 4.85 billion Australian dollars in January. And exports of travel and tourism services showed a decline of 1% each from December 2021 to January of 2022. The recent decline in dwelling approvals highlights the imminent return of the real estate sector to normalcy, with demand gradually returning to pre-pandemic levels. And consequently, housing price growth has taken a hiatus by showing the first signs of a decline since 2020. Additionally, soaring prices of commodities and an overall increase in global demand has helped the Australian economy observe a large surplus in international trade of goods and services. Thanks for joining us in the report, but that's all for now. We will be back with the Smart Market Insights show soon, but till then keep watching Kalkine TV for the latest market updates and related insights. Sage here signing off.